So, yesterday I made a slight mistake. So, remember that list, that thing? Well, turns out I misread. It wasn't made by, well, I knew that and then I made the mistake. It wasn't made by Kenneth Balcom. It was made by this youth, which I went over. I made a research about this person like 2 streams ago. I don't know. I don't know if he works for the industry or what. In any case, the real list, the one this list refers to, is the Kenneth Balcom one. And the Kenneth Balcom one is, you'll see, oh no, directly though, it's this long. Look, look, look how long it is. Okay, so it confirms what I thought, which is they don't name either Puka or Kia or Steph Sipman and Kenneth Levasseur, but they're mentioned in the list, which makes me think that yeah, this guy was like bad faith when he didn't include Puka and Kia. But not only that, but he didn't include a lot of cases, including cases where you have some of them that were captive for years and that just lived normally after that. In particular, I didn't know that there were a lot of how to put it, liberation sauvage, but you don't say wild liberation, like random unplanned liberation by the US Navy. So for instance, you have that case, Bahama Mama, another female bottlenose dolphin, inadvertently released after at least 17 years of captivity. No official follow-up occurred. However, this dolphin was positively photo-identified up to 8th month after release in the company of, I don't like the term, but wild dolphin in the Bahamas. Assumed return to native habitat. One dolphin, captive 17 years, follow-up successful. Yes, that's the flipper case, we went over that. TT-745, a male bottlenose dolphin captured on 20 July 1988 in Mississippi was inadvertently released by the US Navy on 2 June 1992 at an undisclosed location. No follow-up reported, not reported whether returned to native habitat. One dolphin captive 4 years, no follow-up. No, it's not this one. Captive 8 years, no follow-up. Interesting. I wonder why. Yeah, that's fucked, by the way, but we'll go over these experiments on whatnot. Yep, survived a fucking hurricane, which, by the way, makes sense from an evolutionary point of view. I'm quite confident this is not the only case because a lot of penned swimming facilities in the Caribbean actually are situated in areas which are prone to hurricane. And as far as I'm aware, they're not like dying like flies every time. The storm arguments tend to be used a lot by pro-caps and pro-sanctuaries alike, which in itself is already quite funny because, you know, why would pro-caps attack basically pro-sanctuaries with an argument that also would attack penned areas that the current captivity industry uses by definition or whatever. But yes, basically, I will try to find more data on that, other similar cases, but basically the storm argument is quite moot. Cetaceans are generally quite able to pass out, to wait out the storm. No, we went over that. No, there was that case I want to show you. Oh, yep. 1992, Anessa, a captive-born Atlantic bottlenose dolphin held at the Dolphin Research Center in Florida Keys, disappeared or was fairly lost during a hurricane in August 92. Anessa survived the hurricane, however, and was adopted by a pod of wild dolphins. She was sighted numerous times, healthy and foraging on her own. One dolphin captive-sized birth followed successful. Again, we will go over the bulk of data, but basically it is extremely interesting that neither the Pro Sanctuary or the Pro Cap sites, well, especially the Pro Sanctuary site because they're supposed to be the good ones, talk about those cases that clearly go in a more optimistic take on cetacean liberation and such. But beyond that, again, the point is also that this whole idea that we should radically separate them from us, force liberated cetacean out of any human space, not being able to give them food if they ask to, having like a genuine relationship with them, using first contact. The fact that it's not, the fact that we deny them any form of genuine social relation is part of the issue. But we will go over the theory later on. This is also, apparently there were some prototypal cases of whale captivity, which is, I was aware of one or two cases like that, but yeah. So that's interesting because I knew that ALAT on, I believe the Roatan Institute, which is a facility, I believe is in the Bahamas, I believe, I'm not sure. Those places allow or allowed some of the dolphins to come and go freely, obviously under tight control and such, but I didn't know that another facility also did the same thing. UNESCO, I swim with, yes, I was aware of them. I swim with the dolphin facility in Freeport, Grand Bahama, routinely allows several of, it may be the same one under another name, I have a doubt, allows several of its dolphins, some imported from Mexico, to escort boats and divers to the open ocean. And some dolphins are reported to remain at sea for several days, mingling or mating with whale dolphins. Before returning to the facility, it will appear that this operation could offer opportunity. Epidemiological and genetic. Indeed. Which probably will disprove it. I mean, again, this document was made in the 90s. We had plenty of time to confirm that most of the fears by both the Pro Cap and the Pro Sanctuary side, which is also the Pro Cap side with extra steps, the narrative are basically not working. So I'll try to go over the whole document another time. I'm kind of tired, but I wanted to show you this and correct the mistake I made last time. But nonetheless, could go over, yeah, or retire. The retirement, I hate the word, the notion of retirement. That's an euphemism, as you know. The reality is that they want to put them in a ship and with everything it implies in terms of control, training, possibly even birth control, as possibly even sterilization. Although in the case of Lolita, I don't believe this would be necessary, obviously. But the problem is, this implies a certain number of obviously ethical issues, but most importantly, it is exactly the same way the classical captivity industry function. As I will try to illustrate in later streams, the basic, that's a good idea for a separate stream, for a section. The basic layout of a sanctuary is the same than a dolphinarium. There is, okay, yes, a bigger area where they can roam for some time, but their time is scheduled. They have to go in smaller areas during nighttime or for medical checkups or for, individual divisions under logic of control. This is something that was confirmed by the Beluga Sanctuary in Hemahay, although obviously in theory it was already something that wasn't difficult to confirm. Sorry. Oh shit, the word. I have brain worms. It is not something difficult to prove because this is mainstream on mandatory functioning in all of the dolphinarium industry. Pretending that this is not the case is hysterical. And secondly, the notion of retirement is basically comparing the notion of retirement as it is in our civil societies, where we nonetheless live under a form of social contract where we are paid and we have basic civil liberties guaranteed by a central state under law, where we are understood as citizens and not as property, or where we choose to one day retire with a certain sum of money, with everything it means in terms of financial, administrative, familiar context, etc., with what is it basically a state of captivity is laughable. Yes, you know what? We will go over that. We also go over the plan, the alternative plan shown by this Native American tribe. I forgot the name. We'll go over this, which I believe is not on the pro-sanctuary side. But this will be for another stream. Oh my god. Well, whatever. You know what? I will save that for Oof, I probably won't do that. Could try to go over a bit. Not sure what I could do today. Well, I think I will.